A few weeks ago, SNKRDUNK in Japan started authenticating unsealed, no-shrink booster boxes. Today, we're gonna try and see what this is all about. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another video. I mentioned in my last video about this patent filed by Pokémon Japan about this new shrink wrap that would lead to, or could potentially lead to, way more unsealed booster boxes in the market. I talked about SNKRDUNK authenticating unsealed booster boxes these days. They're already pretty standard in Japan, and it just feels like they're becoming more and more of a thing. And well, SNKRDUNK decided to capitalize on this opportunity and start authenticating unsealed booster boxes. Now, I asked myself, what is this all about? So I ordered a box, and we're just gonna have a look ourselves. Real quick, short disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by SNKRDUNK. I am not affiliated with SNKRDUNK. I've got nothing to do with them. I was just genuinely curious about this service myself, wanted to find out what it is all about, and hopefully, can help people form their own decisions on whether or not they wanted to use this service. I ordered a box, we're gonna open it up, we're gonna talk about a few things when it comes to authenticating booster boxes, and I'll just kind of give you my opinions. And also, it gives me an opportunity or a cheap excuse for a video to open a booster box. So this is how it came. I took off the address label. Took a couple of days to get here. I mean, obviously, it first has to be shipped from the seller to SNKRDUNK. Then it spent about, 24 hours at SNKRDUNK office before they shipped it to me. And I got it today, which is just the day after. And let's open this up. I want to try and do this all on camera. I'm also very curious to see, what does this actually look like. Okay, here we got the box in like a plastic wrap. Now, SNKRDUNK published an article where they announced this, and I will link the article down below. They talk a little bit about why they're doing it, and like a little bit how they're doing it, but they don't give all the details, understandably, obviously. But yeah, just wanted to have a look myself. So this is how it comes, with the little SNKRDUNK authentication card, which is cute and all, but it doesn't really do anything. Oh yeah, the SNKRDUNK security sticker seal is attached on the outside of this plastic wrap. Now these you can take off. Also, if they're on the booster boxes, you can take them off, typically. This one's giving me a bit of trouble, but yeah. You can take them off. They don't leave any residue on the plastic. Yeah, no residue here, really. And then they create like this void look, so they cannot be reattached. That's their whole security seal. And I think it works. Anyways, let's open this plastic wrapping here. It's actually really strong seal, but the plastic is like quite cheap. Like it just kind of rips apart all over. Okay, and here we got the booster box. So this is the authentication card. It comes with every SNKRDUNK order, but again, it doesn't do anything. There's not like a serial number on here that correlates to the seal or whatever. It's cute, but whatever. Okay, so yeah, this is what they talk about on the website. They talked about, or in the article, that they open them from the side and not the front. Which is interesting. If you didn't know, this is also how booster boxes are resealed these days. Scammers do not open the booster box on the front because of the tail strip. They open them from the side, like this, and they switch out the packs. And I guess SNKRDUNK did the same thing. What I assume is they're probably looking at this part right here, which is the glue, the adhesive, to see if it has been re-glued, potentially, because I think the front is much harder to open and reseal, obviously. And, that's probably one of the things they look for. Again, to me, this all looks good. Doesn't look like there's any additional glue here. We'll get our packs out. I think one additional thing that they look for is the booster box. By the way, also these days, a lot of people are selling booster boxes like this on like the Japanese online secondary market. Yeah. A bit unfortunate, right? Because we all know who's buying those. But anyways, back to the booster packs. So, oh, that's exciting. I haven't opened the Team Rocket box yet. And I paid up for this video. So I'm a bit excited. But I usually don't like paying this much for new sets. One thing before I get to the packs. What I thought was quite interesting, and I'll throw up some screenshots. The unshrinked booster box price isn't that much lower than the sealed ones. Like there's a bit of a difference, a bit of a discount, but it isn't as big as you might think it is. It's a few thousand yen less. which, you know, percentage-wise, when I bought it, it was like 15% cheaper, something like that. It's not a huge difference. But if you're just gonna open the packs anyways, you don't care, then if you can trust their service, you know, get a bit of a discount. So that's not bad. And it's kind of the same for other boxes too that also have sealed and unsealed boxes on SNKRDUNK. So I assume one thing they also look at, and probably why, or one of the reasons why they opened the box to look at the packs, I would assume is the serial number. Now, so this is where it gets interesting, right? So packs typically have, on this part right here, a serial number. But this is actually a great example. You can see this pack right here, it does not have a serial number. So this is a little bit scary, you might think, but this is actually really normal and a bit unfortunate. This one does not have a serial number. Okay, this is quite interesting. Unless they stopped doing them, which would be news to me. I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but yeah, no serial number on this pack either. Maybe they stopped. Yeah, no serial number. So typically, in the past, each pack had a serial number, and all packs within a box had the same serial number. So me not seeing any serial numbers right now is very interesting. This is not something I expected to see. Genuinely, I'm surprised, unless it's somewhere else, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they stopped doing them altogether, or I don't know. This is quite interesting. One thing I'll say though, the serial number has never been like a perfect authentication method, because I've gotten booster boxes straight from the Pokémon Center, the most direct authentic source you can possibly think of, and not all packs had the serial numbers. You know, this stuff is mass printed, mistakes happen. I almost always had a few packs without a serial number in a booster box, and sometimes, you know, you'd have like a partial print. But yeah, so these packs have no serial numbers at all, so that is quite interesting. I would also say they're all still attached at the top and the bottom, so you kind of have to, you know, rip open the flap a little bit to unfold it. But yeah, this is interesting. Maybe this is news. If you've opened some of this stuff before, these new sets, maybe you can confirm. I haven't opened much modern recently at all. The few packs I've been able to find at retail, you know, just throughout the wrapper, so I didn't check. So maybe this is the new thing. I don't know, right? If there are no serial numbers anymore, then this is obviously something that makes it more difficult for SNKRDUNK to authenticate. And in general, like, I made a whole video about the booster box authentication process at SNKRDUNK in the past. I'll link it down below if you want to watch it. I go pretty in depth in that video. And there I also said, you know, I don't think SNKRDUNK can be 100% sure that stuff isn't resealed, or in this case, not sealed, but like, you know, switched out packs. I don't think there's a way to be 100% sure, but I think SNKRDUNK, their service, their authentication service, acts as a deterrent. And scammers have little incentive to sell through SNKRDUNK because they can just sell on other platforms like Yahoo or Medicuddy or Amazon, where they know they can pretty much get away with it. But we're gonna open the packs. We're gonna look at inside. We're gonna see if we have the expected hit rate, the expected pull rate, and I'm just gonna give you my conclusion. So since this is not about, you know, this is not a booster box opening video, I'm gonna open these the Japanese way. If you don't know the Japanese way, the way they open booster packs in Japan, they just cut all the packs and then just look at all the cards in like a big stack at once, or like 2 stacks. So I'm trying to do the same thing to save a bit of time. It's obviously a little bit scary. I was just gonna do 5 at a time. If you've seen like the real pros do it, they do like, you know, 10, 20 packs at a time. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so my scissors are not ideal because my scissors are kind of creating a bit of a crimp. Don't worry. Don't worry, the cards are fine. But I just want to do a bit of time saving here. There we go. Let's put them to the side. Yeah, this is still a new way for me to try and do this. You should watch watch the Japanese YouTubers do it. They're freaking pros at this. It's crazy. Okay. There we go. It's a little scary, not gonna lie, but it's much faster. So I will have done a bit of fast forwarding here already, because I just want to keep this video kind of short. Now, if we don't get our expected hit rate, if we don't get an SR, we don't get our ARs or not enough ARs, then this would be kind of a groundbreaking video, not gonna lie, because I don't think a scammed resealed booster box has been opened on YouTube that has gone through SNKRDUNK. So this would be pretty groundbreaking right here. Okay. Oh, that one went much smoother. Okay, here we go. That's all the packs opened. That's all our cards. And let's just have a look what we get. I'm just going to take a bit of a stack here and we'll just go through it pretty quickly. Okay, here's one EX, the Regirock EX. Not an amazing one, but nice. Okay, here's a full art. That should be our box hit. Not a great one. We got one art rare, very nice. Got a holo. Let's separate the holos. Another holo. And then our second stack. Another EX. Another holo. Wow, that's a really nice one. Oh, we get the Rockets Moltres EX. That's a nice looking card. Oh, sweet. The Houndoom AR, one of my favorites. Very happy to pull this card. That's very nice. Another holo. Ooh, awesome. The Wobbuffet art rare. So I think that's going to be it. Maybe one more EX. There you go. Get the Rockets Persian EX. Oh, there's another EX. All right, Rockets Golbat EX. So 5 EXs instead of 4 in this box. That's normal, by the way. That's fine. And that's going to be it. We got one more holo in the end, and we get the Rockets Tyranitar as our last card. So there you go. Okay, we got our legit hits, our legit pull rate. Unfortunately, a pretty stinker box. We get an OC SR, Titan, I think in English. Yeah, good reminder why you don't want to spend so much money on these Japanese booster boxes when they're new. Ugh, feels bad, man. But I was able to justify it for the video. We got a couple sick, really nice art rares that I was hoping to pull. So what's the conclusion? Obviously, one box isn't going to give us like definitive results on whether or not this unsealed booster box authentication service is legit or is it a scam or what, right? It's just one box. I just wanted to kind of open one on camera to give you a bit of an idea. What does this look like? What can you expect when you order one of these from SNKRDUNK? How does it arrive? What does the box look like? And yeah, look, just like with the seal boxes, I don't think SNKRDUNK can be 100% sure that no packs were switched out. They're not CT scan in these packs. You look at the hits, and they're not doing any of that stuff, right? The no serial number on the packs is very interesting. Again, maybe that's a new thing because they're printing so much. Who knows? I'd love to hear your experiences with that. Look, I think if you're gonna buy unsealed booster boxes, the best way to go about it is in person in Pokémon Center, obviously. But if you buy them online, unless you know a very trusted seller, I think SNKRDUNK is probably one of the better places to buy them from, just because they do have some sort of authentication service that at the very least acts as a deterrent. And just because we get a bad pull doesn't mean that any of these packs were switched out or anything like that, right? I personally would trust it. For me, it's just like, well, you know, unsealed booster boxes I can find in person in Japan, so I don't really have a need to buy them online all that much. But also, again, this cost me, it was 10,000, I think 300 yen, the box, and I paid 990 yen shipping, which is quite a lot for a box that small. So this cost me like 11,000 yen, which is double retail. And paying double retail for a brand new Japanese set, it's not a good idea, let alone triple, quadruple retail, because you might have a box like this. Anyways, that's the short message at the end. But yeah, hope you learned something. Hope you get some takeaways. Would you buy unsealed boxes from SNKRDUNK? Yes or no? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Thank you very much for that. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.